Welcome to the Great Basin Prescribed Fire and Smoke Transport Briefing for Wednesday, April 22nd. Currently across the Great Basin, we have quite a bit of prescribed fire activity with the purple dots across the region. We also have had a few new wildfires in the yellow and red dots, and even a couple larger ones, one up in northeast Nevada, which was last reported at 56 acres, and one in the foothills of northern Utah, which was last reported at 400 acres. Very windy conditions and dry weather occurred yesterday when these fires ignited, which definitely perpetuated the spread. We also have some fine fuel concerns, so we could have some dead carryover fine fuels from last season in these areas that was certainly dry enough to carry fire along with the dry brush with the lack of snowpack and drier conditions we've seen. But again, these should be fairly isolated. Again, very windy conditions continue again today in some areas, so we could see some new starts. Over the last 7 to 14 days, we've seen precipitation mainly over the northern and western half of the Great Basin, but we have seen some lighter precipitation, even in some pockets, has been near to above normal in southern Utah in some of the higher elevations. Still quite a bit of dryness over much of the southern half of Nevada into northern Utah and western Wyoming, which is obviously well below normal for the time of year. There has been no new snowfall in the last 72 hours, but we do have a storm system moving across the region, so that will definitely change by tomorrow. Snow depth is indicated on the right, and again, very poor snowpack, very poor snow depth across the region. We will have these systems that move across this week and over the weekend to bring new snowfall to many high elevation areas. However, again, a little, too late, and any snowfall we do see will definitely be melting fairly rapidly. But it is a nice reprieve in the time being. Currently, snowpack again, well below normal in all of the region. The only areas that are a little bit higher are still central Idaho and western Wyoming. The satellite image from this morning shows the area of low pressure moving across the northern and western side of the Great Basin, and this will sweep eastward and push a cold front through the region, bringing much cooler temperatures than what we saw over the last couple of days, many areas dropping 20 degrees or more and near to below normal temperatures as opposed to the above normal temperatures we have been seeing. It will also bring quite a bit of precipitation, especially to the northern half of the region. However, dry and windy conditions out ahead of this cold front will still occur over eastern Utah and southern areas of the Great Basin today. So looking at the weather pattern, you can see that storm track continuing to push that area of low pressure east across the northern half of the Great Basin. Still the drier conditions down south, but good dispersion region-wide, again with these stronger winds. And looking at the transport winds, you can see today the strongest winds will be along the central Utah mountains and over eastern and southern Utah. So those little areas we will watch today with the drier conditions if we do get any new starts in that region. And then the stronger winds also up in northern areas, but temperatures are cooler, relative humidity is higher, and we do have moisture moving across the northern half of the region. Mixing heights will remain moderate to high region-wide. Today, temperatures again will drop in all areas as that cold front sweeps through the region, so many valley locations seeing highs only in the 50s with the exception of the far south. Relative humidity will still remain low over southern areas of the Great Basin and eastern Utah, so where those relative humidities line up with those stronger winds today will be an area to watch. Over the northern half of the Great Basin, we will see significantly higher relative humidity with the precipitation. So definitely good news for our new fires in northeast Nevada and northern Utah. They will be getting some cooler temperatures, higher humidity, and some precipitation. As we move into tomorrow, we will see that area of low pressure track into the northern plains, but we will still see some troughiness off the west coast, but will be somewhat of a break in the weather, especially over the western half of the Great Basin, which will be drier. We'll continue to see showers move across the north and into northern Utah even tomorrow. Otherwise, dispersion will be good with the exception of the far western areas of the Great Basin that will see lighter winds as this weak ridging of high pressure moves in. So again, you can see these stronger winds on Thursday, mainly confined to Idaho, Wyoming, and northern and northeast Utah with high mixing heights. Temperatures will still remain cool and get even colder over parts of Idaho, Wyoming, and northern Utah. So again, we will see the rain showers in the lower elevations, but snowfall in the higher elevations where these temperatures are cold enough. Otherwise, we'll start to see temperatures briefly warm over western areas of the Great Basin along with lower relative humidity. As we move into Friday, we do have that still under trophy presence, some moisture moving across southern areas of the Great Basin in advance of this next area of low pressure, mostly in the form of cloud cover, but certainly couldn't rule out a few showers. and then good dispersion region-wide. Transport winds still remain gusty over the eastern half of the region, not as strong as what we'll see today or tomorrow, but the strongest winds will be up north over western Wyoming and far northern Utah. We'll also see high mixing heights. So on Friday, we will see, along with these gusty winds, some drier conditions reemerge over Nevada and Utah. So parts of the Uinta Basin will be something to watch on Friday as those stronger winds line up with those lower relative humidities. Otherwise, further north, where the winds will be still quite gusty in western Wyoming, we will have higher relative humidity along with Idaho and those colder temperatures. So the 3-day forecast amount of precipitation taking us through Friday shows that we will see that precipitation over the northern half of the region. The areas that will see the heaviest precipitation, and mostly in the form of snowfall in those higher elevations, will be central and eastern Idaho into Wyoming and also into northern Utah. But you can see, with the exception of a few showers down south, mostly drier conditions over southern Nevada and southern Utah and the Arizona Strip. Also, our new snowfall through Friday, you can see we'll see many areas in the higher elevations getting that new snowfall, most notably again in central and eastern Idaho, Wyoming, and even northern Utah. Moving into the weekend, we will have another storm system moving across the region, another cold area of low pressure, very late winter, springtime with a regime with lots of showers and potentially thunderstorms across the region, but definitely higher humidity, continuing those temperatures to be on the cool side with that new moisture moving in Saturday and continuing on Sunday into Monday across the region. We'll also continue with more of those scattered showers on Tuesday. So this wet pattern will continue going through April and even into early May. Overall precipitation for the next 7 days, you can see in addition to that 3-day precipitation, that precipitation will be pushed further south. So most areas of the Great Basin going into the weekend, into early next week, will see at least some light precipitation. But again, could see still some dry spots in far southern Nevada and parts of the Arizona Strip. And then new snowfall through next Monday. Even as that precipitation drops further south, those temperatures will be cool enough to even see some new snowfall in parts of the southern Utah mountains. The 8 to 14-day outlook from the end of April through early May shows that continued wetter pattern across the region. So that it's definitely going to continue going into early May with potentially near normal temperatures, but we will see those fluctuations with cooler temperatures as the systems move through and then warming in between. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back on Friday for the latest updates.